Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host, GamerK, and we've reached the end of May here. And for a video, I needed to do something somewhat nostalgic, somewhat relevant. And I got news this month that is technically both of those. Early in May, I found information that Telltale, while working on The Wolf Among Us 2, please don't be bad, please, I know it won't, have announced a sequel to one of their other games, one that honestly is based on a big game series that until playing their own game, I knew nothing about the characters, I knew nothing about the story, I knew nothing about anything. But overall, I learned to love it, and I watched technically and learned about the characters a little bit. And that game is Tales from the Borderlands, and it was one of my first Telltale games experience. Since it came out in 2014. That would mean the Back to the Future game and The Wolf Among Us were my first. But then when this came out, I was interested because I love the Telltale games. I love a majority of them. Like, there are some I never really got into, like the Jurassic Park one, Game of Thrones, Minecraft, because those don't really interest me that much. But Tales from the Borderlands takes the bizarre, out of control, controlled chaos that is Borderlands and creates a great story with it. So it's enough of me babbling stuff. Let's get into it. So the game is fantastic. It has the classic. It's got the classic Telltale's formula of a point-and-click adventure game, all with the QTE sections and the decision-making. And I do love good decision-making. If there are decisions that don't really do anything in the overall story and they're there for, like, prosperity's sakes, it's irritating. But again, all these choices in this game I love because it always goes forward into each other episode, and then we won't find out what our consequences are until later, which I love. I don't like choices that have an immediate effect right then and there, but it's still done very well. And one thing I do like is that while Telltale did develop the game, they got a bunch of help. They got a bunch of help and insight from Telltale's company, Gearbox Studios and 2K Games. So that's something that's awesome. Also, the music, the soundtrack in the beginning of every single episode, how they do a big cinematic opening for the episodes, and they're epic, they're catchy, they're hilarious. They do a lot of in-jokes, especially in the episode 3 one. Yeah, all the openings are fantastic, opening segments. And one of the things I love about this game are the original characters. And I'm going to admit, these characters are so iconic that in the new Borderlands game that they did, they managed to put Reese and Vaughn in it, and apparently something negative happened between them, and they kind of drifted apart, which kind of sucked. But overall, the story of Tales from the Borderlands is basically a how do I say this? Basically, it happens in the present, but then it goes to the beginning of all the events that brought us to this moment in the story. As a masked stranger wants to know information of what happened, and it's up to our main characters that we play as Reese, the salaryman working at Hyperion, who gets screwed over by Patrick Warburton for a promotion. Never before have I seen Patrick Warburton play a jackass character, but he does it well with this guy. And it's 100% hilarious. All the interactions we get from him, But I'm going to be honest. Whenever I hear Patrick Warburton, I immediately think of Joe Swanson or Kronk. And hearing Kronk say all this outlandish shit it always gets a laugh from me, regardless of what game he's in. It's always funny. Especially when he plays Brock Sampson in Venture Bros. Yeah. I need to stop reminiscing. So we play as Reese, and we play as con artist from Pandora, Fiona. And I do love that each character has their own bits and pieces of how to work. Like their own choices, their own story, but then they all correlate into each other. Whereas Reese can do an optical scan with his cybernetic implants and scan areas, give us information on characters, while Fiona focuses more on obtaining cash throughout the game, so you can make different choices and this and that. Now, I do like how both characters are seemingly similar, but then they do completely different routes in the story. I do really love that. And I gotta admit, the cast in this game is absolutely really fantastic. We've got Troy Baker, we've got Laura Bailey, we got Aaron Yvette, we have Nolan North of all people. And like I said, Patrick Warburton, and yes, at the end of episode 1, we get a blast from Borderland Past as the cybernetic ghost of the most absolute jackass boss in the whole gaming world. Voiced again by Damian Clark. Handsome Jack is back, people. And it just creates so many controversy and not controversy, but so much controversy throughout the group in the game that it's enjoyable sometimes. And not only is he threatening and intimidating, but he's also comical as well, which I really do love about Handsome Jack, for the most part. So basically, during the episode 1, Reese jacks into a device to put data in him, and apparently Yakimata, I think his name is, who was a scientist for Hyperion, collected some of Handsome Jack's information and created how do I say it? A backup data of Handsome Jack. So, yep, he's in Reese's head and only Reese can hear him and see him. And I do love that. And later throughout the game, it shows a lot more of crap. A lot more BS. So basically, yeah, the game is a point-and-click adventure game. And there is 2 sides between the whole thing. And there are so many great decisions within this game. And obviously you can do another save slot where you can do all the opposite ones and have the story go from there. For example, in some episodes you'll have to side with Fiona or side with Jack, but the consequences of that happen in the next episode, and pretty much a majority of the smaller decisions somewhat build up and cause bigger issues throughout the next couple episodes. And I really do enjoy that. I really love how I can't predict what the catch-22 is going to be, you know? What the whole repercussions of our decisions are going to be and when they're going to apply. For example, when fighting 2 bounty hunters, if you declare that you are a bounty hunter yourself as Fiona, Zero will help you out in the final episode of the game. Or if you help Athena with her relationship, she will help you out. And also, you can kill certain characters, like in all Telltale games, but I prefer to be a pacifist and not let anyone die if I can help it. And they bring out so many Borderlands characters that I never knew anything about until I played this game. Like, they bring in Zero, they bring in Athena and her girlfriend Springs, they bring in Mordecai and Brick. And for some reason in episode 1, they have Mad Moxie's voice with Zero, which doesn't do anything because Moxie doesn't show up in the game. I'm hoping Moxie shows up in the sequel. And then, if you've accumulated enough money by the final episode, you will gain access to another character who everyone says is the Deadpool of Borderlands. Yes. Claptrap. I, for one, freaking love him. Like, if there was a Borderlands theme park, I would love to see a whole bunch of Claptraps roaming around, and it's all hilarious. It's all good fun, and the entirety of this game has all the action, all the violence, and all the humor that apparently Borderlands is famous for. And I do love all the QTE moments. None of them feel like they've overstayed their welcome, or it's too difficult, or they don't overstay their welcome as in other games. And I love that Telltale has the right amount of exploration, dialogue sections, and the QTE sections. I really do enjoy it. And there are a couple puzzle segments here and there that aren't really puzzles, but I do enjoy them overall. One thing I also love is that the relationship that they do with Reese and Fiona's adoptive sister, Sasha. I really am glad they didn't go the cliche route where having the main character fall in love with the other main character. It gets irritating. So I really do love that they do hate each other in the beginning, and then as they build a connection, they slowly start to have moments, but we never get a real kiss. And at the final of the episode, at the final of the game, the final just ends on a blank note, and we don't even know what the hell happened. So I'm hoping that the new season will kind of clear up some of those unanswered questions. But at the same time, we need to get different characters in here. Like, I do not want to see the same characters that were used already. Like, switch it up a little bit. Although, if you bring back Zero, I 100% wouldn't mind. And I really do hope that they do something that the Batman Season 2 did. Is that you can put in you can either use your save file from the previous season that you played, or you can input choices that you really want to see how the story is affected. And I really like that. What else? Yeah, this is going to be a kind of a short review, because for Borderlands, there isn't that much to discuss that doesn't give away a good majority of the game. But it was done in 2014, so if you haven't played the Tales for the Borderlands yet, I would recommend highly doing it. Oh, the final confrontation is absolutely beautiful. It's so badass. The final segment of episode 5 is what we should have in a Power Rangers game. It just felt like Power Rangers-y with the cockpits and the 3 characters that you choose to help out. Each one gives you a different combat moves, and it's just fantastic. And the ending, it's just so badass that they make jokes that it's like a video game or something, and I really do. I really love all the extra little in-jokes that they do. Like, they do like a Ferris Bueller joke, a Dungeons and Dragons joke, and you know how in Telltale games they always put this character will remember this when you make a decision. When talking with Handsome Jack, he sees it and is like, what the hell is that? Like, they throw in a little joke that Jack might know that this is a game, and I really do enjoy all the jokes, all the humor, all the characters, all the gameplay. Very rarely do I have any problems with Telltale games, and this is definitely one of them. So yeah, this is going to be a very short review because nothing left to say, but go out and buy the Tales from the Borderlands. It's fantastic, and I can't wait for Season 2. So, yeah, there's no real issues. GamerK's final verdict for Telltale's Tale from the Borderlands gets an immaculate 8 out of 10. The game does deserve an even higher score, but at the same time, there can never be a perfect game. It is impossible. But the rating stands for itself. This is for Borderlands fans and people who aren't Borderlands fans, because with the ability that they do to scan characters and scan environments, you do get a bit of lore about characters and about the information about the land and everything. Only side thing though is some of the episodes can feel a little tedious and short depending if you're really good at them. And also, yeah, I really do love this. I really do love this series, and I can't wait for Season 2 to come out. I really do hope that they improve on this, so when I do that one, maybe it might get a 9, might get an 8. All I know is Telltale is back, and I am all for it. And thank you for joining me for this month, ladies and gentlemen, and for this video in general. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and next month is June, and it's my dad's birth month, so I gotta do some stuff that's really special, catered to him mostly. So I'll see you guys next time. Join me in the beginning of June, where we go back to being a Funkos. And what are you looking at, buttheads? This is GamerK, logging out.